Good morning, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. I want to welcome you to today's presentation, which I've entitled Wwdd. I was recently, I'll get to that in just a moment as to what that stands for, but I was recently at the Data Innovation Summit conference in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I got to tell you, it was a great event. And I would highly recommend in the future that you attend it, assuming that they have more of those. This was the first one of its kind, and I believe it was a real hit with people. But basically, WWDD stands for What Would Deming Do? W. Edwards Deming was one of the first and one of the founding fathers of total quality management. Statistical controls and other things that are frankly above my pay grade, that I don't necessarily understand all of them, but W. Edwards Deming said, and I quote, "In God we trust, all others bring data," end of quote. And as comical as that might sound, he was no ordinary individual. First of all, his total focus was on total quality management, particularly in manufacturing sectors, and he developed what were known as the 14 key principles of total quality management. And ultimately, he had the biggest impact upon Japanese manufacturing management along the lines of this quality management. And one of the speakers at last week's conference, Chip Donatone of IOTA Solutions, asked what I thought was an interesting question. He said, "Is data the new oil?" Is data the new oil? Think about that in terms of its value. Is data that we're collecting in operations of as high or higher value than oil will be down the road? If it's up to the new Green Deal people, then that clearly will be the case. But anyway, his firm and others are working on a way to consolidate multiple facets of dairy operations into one dashboard. Think about this. It would include items such as number one, robotics. Now that could be robotic feeding, that could be robotic milking. Number two, feed management. Number three, the breeding of your herd. How about this? Number four, information from your milk processor as to how many pounds of milk you've shipped on any given day, given month, given year. And finally, maybe even in the area of finances, which hopefully I'll have some influence over at some point. And I think that would be an area of interest for me. But imagine this. All of these things come together in one ultimate dashboard where multiple sources of information rather, but one summary page where you could see all this information. And imagine this. I would characterize this several things. Number one, a brighter industry future where we have very reliable data that we can depend upon to make better decisions. Number two, forward-thinking producers, such as yourselves perhaps, and maybe less government influence. Number three, decisions, as I said earlier, that are based upon better data, a foundation of better information. And I think the result is really neat. New solutions, number one, refined processes, number two, in your operation, and finally, more improvements in your operation, leading to higher profitability, better, more rewarding results for yourself. The result, I call it a more positive future. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage, and I want to thank you very much for listening today. Thank you.